I have an extended topic that I want to talk about, and it was triggered today by something that I heard Eddie Glaude say on TV today.
I think Stacey Abrams' model is the model that we should be following. We should be planning to expand the electorate. I think Sherrod Brown has offered a pathway to talk about the dignity of work that will speak across racial, ethnic divides in this country. It's very clear to me, Katie, is that centrists in the party will say to progressives, you have to support a centrist if a centrist wins, because the objective is to get Donald Trump out of the office. The question, and it's an ironic question, will Democratic centrists support a progressive because they're committed to getting Donald Trump out of office? And it seems to me in the current debates that centrists and the corporate Democrats are too uneasy about really throwing their weight behind a progressive if a progressive actually wins the nomination.
Yeah, if it's an Elizabeth Warren or a Bernie Sanders, what does that centrist do, that potentially moneyed centrist? Do they go for a Warren or a Sanders candidate, or do they bite the bullet if they don't like Donald Trump and go back for Donald Trump? That is a good question.
What Eddie Glaude was trying to say is that, hey, there's a darn good chance that this year the Democratic Party elects a real progressive to represent the Democratic Party in the election. And the question he's asking is whether corporate and establishment Democrats, and we know, some people get mad whenever we use those terms, but the question is whether corporate and establishment Democrat will support the nominee. Everybody always say, well, when a centrist gets elected as the nominee, we ask that the people on the left, we ask that progressives support the party. The truth of the matter is that's what's always done most of the times. Dr. Eddie Glaude is asking a very important question. Will centrists support a progressive who wins, or will they go and either stay home or vote for Donald Trump? My theory is that no, they're not staying home. My theory is that they are going to come and many of them will vote for Donald Trump. And why do I say that?
Going to lose in a landslide. Joe, I'm going to take it one step further, because this is how dangerous socialism. I find Donald Trump reprehensible as a human being, but a socialist candidate is more dangerous to this country as far as the strength and well-being of our country than Donald Trump. I would vote for Donald Trump, a despicable human being.
I've written several articles before that show the similarity between what I call the upcoming elite. It doesn't matter if they are centrist Democrat or they are centrist Republican. They all share the same interests monetarily. And the question is whether they are as altruistic as they claim to be in the support of policies that help middle-class America or that help the poor Americans. The other day I was working out with a person. We started talking about taxing wealth. And I said, he said, oh, we need to have Medicare for all. And he was in support for a lot of these things. He was more left than centrist as well in his support for these particular policies. But when I said, but we should also tax wealth, he said, oh, I don't know about that. So I asked him, do you have a home? Yes, I do. And I said, a large percentage of Americans have homes, right? Yes, they do. They're all paying a wealth tax on it, right? Yeah, I guess they're paying property taxes. Yeah, that's a wealth tax. Okay. If these people are paying a wealth tax, why is it that those people who own $160 billion worth of stocks or $2 billion worth of stock or $180 million or whatever, why aren't they paying a wealth tax just like every single American who owns a home, owns a car? They are paying wealth taxes because their wealth is invested in that house, in that car, or in some other asset. Why should we treat stocks as any different type of asset than we treat a home or anything else? And then he started to think, and then you could see that he didn't want to continue the conversation, so we didn't continue the conversation. What Eddie Glaude said there is a very poignant point that we are going to have to start bringing up within the Democratic Party. And the reason it has to be brought into the Democratic Party, we need to lay the cards down now and ask, if it is that Bernie Sanders becomes the nominee for the party, how many Democrats are really going to support Bernie Sanders? People wonder, well, who will be Bernie Sanders' base if he gets elected? If an Elizabeth Warren gets elected, who will her base be? Will her base include the centrist Democrats? I wonder. Based on how I see many centrists talk about the left, I wonder. And that is one of the reasons why I'm telling a whole lot of progressive people in the pattern that we ought to have right now is not talking about anything other than telling stories and speaking directly to people's wants and needs so that we can build a base of progressive people. Not necessarily party base, but a base of progressive people that vote their interests. And if their interest happens to be the Democratic Party, do so. If the Democratic Party starts to go haywire on the right or whatever, we do what has to be done.